Shaw and Associates.
I'm Dave Shaw, President and CEO of Shaw & Associates. For over 70 years, Shaw & Associates has been your trusted experts for wealth management, tax, accounting, and payroll. We change lives and inspire true wealth, one person, one family, one business at a time. Shaw & Associates is a wealth management investment firm that specializes in taxes, serving as a fiduciary, putting your interests first. You can find more information or schedule an appointment by calling 530-674-1150 or on the web at shawassociatesinc.com. Shaw & Associates is proud to support community radio.
And we're grateful for the support for community radio. If you'd like to support us, just go to 93qradio.com and hit the donate button. Well, this morning I'd like to welcome you to the Megan and Bob Show. Come on. You guys are theater. You should be able to handle this, right?
Oh, I think we can do it.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
We didn't prepare an opening number, however.
You didn't?
No, sorry.
Megan, always an absolute delight to have you
Thank
in.
you. Always a delight to be here. It's been too long. I haven't been here the last couple times.
You're avoiding me.
Oh.
I don't know what it is. Did I say something
Never.
I shouldn't?
I would
Because I do
never
it all the
avoid you.
time.
No, never would avoid you.
So you are representative of the acting company.
Correct.
And I had David Reed on yesterday.
I know, I saw.
And David was talking about just how much theater we have in the
So
area.
much theater right now.
It is amazing. I think he mentioned either 3 or 4 different theater groups in our area.
Yeah.
And to me, it's like, it's just it's very different. Not that I don't like movies.
Yeah.
But really,
It's not the same.
The modern movies, they're like trying to rehash an old movie and doing poorly at it, right?
Yeah.
And so if you want to see theater, how about seeing it live?
There is nothing like that experience
Totally
of live
different.
theater. You get that immediate just energy from the actors. The actors are getting it back from the audience. We just finished our run of Cabaret, which if for anybody who missed it, I'm so sad for you, because it is one of the best live musical plays that I've ever seen anywhere, not just in Yuba City. It was wonderful, and the energy that you get from that you can't get that from a movie theater. It's very different.
No, unless it's a good cartoon.
All right, I'll give you that.
Although they're still messing those up. I don't know what it is. It's almost like nobody can write something new.
Yeah, it's all regurgitated.
Yeah, and it's like we're going to make it a little different, and then the concept would be we're going to make it fit our society now.
Yeah.
Oh, nuts! You're going to make it nuts? It's like, really?
Yeah.
So local theater, though, Megan, how long have you been doing this?
I mean, I started doing it when I was in high school, which was 20-something years ago, a while ago, 24 years ago at this point, I think.
Megan is 1 years old.
Right.
So I started doing it in high school. I did it a little bit when I was in college, and then I took a kind of long hiatus when life kind of happened. And I came back into it in the capacity that I'm in now about 4 years ago, and really just dived in head first because I love it so much. And the community that you built.
Niche.
I did. I found my niche. I found my people. I found what makes me happy. And that's making art and sharing it with other people. So
Let's talk about Bob. You know
Yes,
that
let's
movie.
talk about-
What about Bob?
What about Bob?
What about Bob? Bob, what do you do?
Well, let's see. I started my theater journey when I was a little kid. From the time I was as little as I can remember, I wanted to act and perform and do things like that. And so I did that all through elementary school, junior high school, high school. I have a theater degree from college. I moved to New York City to become an actor, and I did. So I was a professional actor for a while. And then I finally decided, enough of this nonsense. I'm going to get a real job. And I went back to school to become a teacher. And so for the vast majority of my career, from my mid-30s up until 2020, I was a high school teacher. I was a high school English teacher and sometimes a theater teacher as well. But yeah, I've always been involved in theater in some capacity or other.
Have you ever had a student come back and tell you, thank you for what you did.
It's really funny. I was just telling this story to somebody the other day. I was at the grocery store, and the guy behind the deli counter, I was ordering and blah, blah, blah. And he said, are you Mr. Cooner? We were talking about Mr. So-and-so a while ago.
Yeah.
I said, yes. And he said, I was your student in 2011 or something, a long time ago. And I said, when did you graduate? And he said, I was in the first graduating class of that school. I had started a new school at that point in my career. And I said, you guys were a tough class. And he said, I know. Because I was not a good student, and I apologize for that.
I'll never forget him. His name was Mr. Feldman. And he came to me, and I was a terrible high school student. I was just, and he came to me after class. He said, Fischetti, he said, you're a smart kid, but you're doing really dumb stuff. You'd rather skip with all your buddies out there. You think they're important. And so you're going to skip school to go to a hamburger joint. He said, you're going to flunk my class, but you're going to do it because you chose to. Because you decided you weren't going to work. And I actually brought my grade up to a D, and I did pass.
Congratulations.
But I never forgot that, because although he corrected me, he was actually telling me, you have the ability to do this, son.
Yeah.
It's your choice. I couldn't blame anybody else. Right?
Yeah.
And I just always appreciate it. Never got a chance to go back. I got drafted, ended up overseas, and then moved to California. So I never got a chance to thank him. But I've always wondered that, right?
It's a great feeling.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. When you have a student come back and thank you, or they'll say, what you taught me, like something very specific, like you taught me this, and I've used that for the rest of my life, or the rest of my high school career, or the rest of my college career. And that's always a really good feeling when you hear like what you taught them made a difference in their success.
Yeah.
So you went from teaching high school to teaching theater.
Well, I was teaching theater in high school at the same time. Yeah.
So you had a lot of bad actors in your class? A lot of good actors?
Well, both, yes.
Yeah, but we're very excited. He's come to the acting company this year as one of our new directors. I mean, he's not a new director. He's new to us director.
Yeah, it's my first time at the acting company.
Oh.
In the Sacramento, I've lived in the Sacramento area since about 2001. No, 2001.
Oh.
2001. And most of my theatrical stuff around the Sacramento area has been at the Woodland Opera House. I've acted in a lot of plays there and directed, I think, 19 plays at the Woodland Opera House. So that's where I've done most of my stuff. But I know Diane Haas, who's the president of the board of the acting company. I've known her for years, and I saw that there was an opportunity to do something at the acting company, and I jumped on that because I'm also a playwright. And so it was an opportunity to get one of my plays get a production for one of my plays.
That's got to be a thrill.
It is a thrill. It's an absolute thrill.
You work hard. I just released 2 albums after years.
Good for you.
Finally released them.
Like I said, I just learn something new about you every time I see you.
And so there's a great movie called That Thing You Do. And the scene where they first hear their song on radio. I'm playing mine on radio now. And it's just, there's something about, you were inspired. You wrote it, but to hear somebody else sing it, or to hear somebody else. So you've written a play. You're going to get to see people bring to life what just. Right, that's got to be a thrill.
It is a thrill.
So, are you doing that one?
Yeah. We're doing we're doing a play that I wrote called Finding Oz. It's about...
Oh, so you're the guy.
I am the guy.
So we talked about this. I didn't know he was the guy.
He's the guy.
It's actually about the gentleman that...
L. Frank Baum.
That wrote The Wizard of Oz. It's about his life.
Right. It starts from before he was born, so it goes from his childhood up until the time that he makes a success of himself from writing The Wonderful Wizard of Oz. And it's an interesting story because he had a crazy life. He's kind of like you.
I
You
was
said
gonna say,
you
a
had
little
an
bit like you.
eclectic life.
Yeah.
He had an eclectic life as well. And The Wizard of Oz isn't published until he's 44, and so he's had a whole lifetime of doing lots of other things by the time he makes the success of himself, and
So did
it changes his life.
Did he live long enough to enjoy the success?
Sort of.
Because sometimes, you know what I
I
mean? We
know,
hear
yeah.
these terrible stories that somebody worked all their life, they developed something, then they pass away, and it's a huge success, you know?
Yeah, he absolutely enjoyed the success of the novel. The novel was published in 1900, and he died in 1919. And in the meanwhile, he was capitalizing on the success of The Wizard of Oz in one way by writing sequels to it. He wrote, I want to say 11, 12,
What?
13 sequels to The Wizard
What?
of Oz.
I had no idea.
And then beyond that, other people took over the kind of the series and wrote even more books. So I don't really know how many there are in total.
So the movie,
The movie he was not around for.
that-
He was long gone by the time the 1939 famous movie
yes,
came around.
yes.
But his
So
wife was
does
still
that
alive.
movie just represent the first book?
Yes.
Okay, so out there somewhere is sequels.
Oh yeah, and they're widely available. You could go to any.
And nobody thought we ought to do it. What? It's like Star Wars from 1939, right? You know?
And in some
Wow.
ways, he was kind of, I mean, the play doesn't go into his life much. It kind of has this little epilogue where it talks about what happened to him and the Wizard of Oz after his death. But in some ways, he was sort of oppressed by the success of The Wizard of Oz because that's all people wanted him to do was to write another Oz book, write another Oz book. And he enjoyed it, but he wanted to do other things as well, like any creative person would,
I feel like that's
So-
pretty common when you have a big success
Yes.
as a, people, that's what they want to talk about. Or, yeah.
I'll let you know when I have one.
Oh, okay.
So, Bob, I have to ask, so what inspired you to want to do this? I mean, were you a lover of The Wizard of Oz and then discovered who wrote it?
That's exactly right. From the time I was a small child, I loved the film of The Wizard of
Yeah.
Oz.
Who didn't?
And it's one of my biggest memories as a child. In fact, I told this story to the cast. It may have been the first or second time I saw the movie on television, and we had a black and white television.
Yeah, same here.
And so I didn't realize that once she stepped through that door into a Technicolor world that there was color. I didn't know that. But it still was really, really incredibly imaginative, and it sparked my imagination. And I remember lying in bed as a little kid and telling myself, I want to dream of Oz. I want to dream that I'm in The Wizard of Oz.
Yeah.
I tried to manifest this dream that I could be part of that. But I've always loved The Wizard of Oz. It's absolutely one of my very favorite films of all time. I think it's one of many people's very favorite films of all time.
Yeah.
In fact, when I was doing the research for the book, there was a study done about the movie that's made the biggest impression of any other movie, and the way that they judged that was references in other films, other books, and Wizard of Oz was hands down the most impressionable movie ever
Wow.
made because of the repercussions it's had in other films and in all kinds of plays and books and marketing, and it's absolutely hands down the most important movie in terms of its the impression it's made on the world.
I mean, I have a very vivid impression of the first time I watched Wizard of Oz.
Yeah.
I must have been, my daughter's 6, I must have been a little younger than her, maybe 4 or 5. And I remember that moment of her coming out of the house when she's landed in Oz, and suddenly everything is just this vivid Technicolor. And I truly remember going, because it's just so, and that's in 1980 something, right? And so and to this day, my daughter hasn't watched it yet, but I know that when I show it to her, that moment is just
You're
such
going to be watching her.
yeah, I'm going to be watching her
yeah.
watch it. Yeah,
And
absolutely.
even in
I was-
1960 something in black and white, it was
Yeah.
the same thing. Yeah.
I was really impressed because Judy Garland had to really carry the quote-unquote human role of the whole story. That's a lot. She was a kid,
She
you know,
was, yeah.
and but a very talented kid. And then, Somewhere Over the Rainbow, what a remarkable song. So I don't know who wrote all the music or if different people wrote it, but I was on talk radio, and there was a show, and I think it was called Coast to Coast, and it was about all things weird, natural, but he used a Hawaiian guy singing that song. I can't remember his name, but an amazing version
It's one of my
that
favorite
song.
versions. Yeah, it's gorgeous.
And it's like so even the music, everything about that has continued,
Yeah.
Do you guys use that in the play? Does that song come
No.
That would cost, I think, a lot.
Darn.
There are all kinds of rights issues involved
Yeah.
there.
Oh, I never thought about that.
Yeah.
Because even though you wrote this, if
Right.
you use something that was written,
absolutely. Yeah,
So
there's a
the
lot
play
of that.
references lots of things from the novel.
Yeah.
And lots of letters and all kinds of historical things that came up in his life. But, all of those are not in copyright anymore.
Yeah, it's past
all of
the-
that. It's
Oh, it
past
passed
all of
it.
that. Yeah. But if you start with the movie or any of the music from the movie, then you're in things that are still those things are not in public domain.
Yeah.
Because they're too recent.
there are, for whatever reasons, there are movies that just keep going.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that
Right.
one definitely does.
Yeah, that one does. I think nobody expected it, but I think Christmas Story.
Oh,
Is-
it's such a classic.
Yeah, nobody
Yeah.
thought about that,
No.
right? It's because it was supposed to not be that great a movie, right? And
Yeah.
it turned out to be legendary.
Yeah,
People
amazingly.
quote
Because I
it.
remember at the time it
Yeah,
wasn't.
it was
People
like-
didn't think much of it.
Yeah.
That's when it first came out.
There's a story about the Harrison Ford and everybody in the original Star Wars.
Yeah.
Not thinking like this is some weird space story. Nobody's ever gonna see
Right.
it, right? I feel like that's a pretty common story of just it strikes a nerve. Something happens in kind of the culture where everybody just really gets behind it. So
There's a story where that Tauntaun, when Luke cuts that thing open, because otherwise he's going to freeze to death. And so a guy was watching it with his daughter, and she said, "Well, how warm is it in there?" And he said, "It's lukewarm."
oh no.
Sorry.
Oh, boy.
Well,
I apologize, but I had to do that.
Well, speaking of Star Wars, there's a parallel between The Wizard of Oz and Star Wars.
Oh.
You've got this
Oh yeah.
young woman, Princess Leia, who is on this mission to do something, and she is aided by these three creatures. One who's kind of big and hairy, one who's kind of a robotic, kind of a Tin Man kind of a thing, and the other is a little droid that I don't think you can compare the droid to the Scarecrow, but it's kind of very much the same idea. This whole idea of
That
this
is
hero's
amazing.
journey
Yeah.
Yeah.
that is just so archetypal from The Wizard of Oz to Star Wars.
Yeah.
So, all right, Bob, I am going to get to when is it playing
Yes.
and where can they see it.
Yeah,
but just before we do that, so you had mentioned that you did you move up here from Sacramento? Are you driving?
No, I'm driving.
We're very happy that he's doing
I'm
that.
making the journey.
He was
All right.
actually at TAC last night at probably 8:30. You probably didn't leave till closer to 9, and then now he's back up here.
All right, I'm going to talk smack about you till you move up here, Bob. You got to be kidding. Anyway, so you've obviously written other things.
Yeah.
Okay, is this the first time that you had a chance to see something you've written put in play? So
no.
you were doing this before?
Yes.
Okay, got it. I just want to know, is there going to be some future Bob Productions?
We hope so. Yeah.
Well, I just think it's really great. There's stuff, like I said, a lot of the stuff that's on the movies and that, it's like, my wife loves the movies. She grew up as a kid going to the movies all the time. And she'll come back and she'll say, are they ever going to make anything good? There has been a few. And then she really likes them, but she said a lot of them, they're remakes. They're trying to make them, socially fit, and it's like, what fits, right? What you guys say fits, we all got to go, okay.
Yeah.
Where's the story? Where's that great acting that we love, right?
At theater.
And so that's what I was going to say. If you really want to see that, you see it local, and then have somebody that is writing new stuff. I'm like, come on.
Didn't you just have one just recently, like published, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I think I've had 7 plays published, and one just came out. Finding Oz is going to be published.
Yay!
It comes out in July.
Oh my goodness!
And then I have another one coming out in September.
Oh wow!
Yeah, it's. There are some times I don't get to see a production of my play because it's being done in Connecticut or New York or Ohio or somewhere. But if it's local, I'll definitely go see it. And sometimes I have the opportunity to actually be involved in those productions. So I've directed a few of my plays at Woodland. And it's an incredible feeling to see your play, the things that you thought in your head come to life.
I absolutely get that. Absolutely get that. You know, we use the term inspired, right? And I know in the music industry, you'll hear these great songs that we love, and then when you get to hear an interview by the artist, they say, oh yeah, I wrote that in 5 minutes in the bathroom on a piece of toilet paper. I mean, when inspiration hits, it hits. And then, man, I mean, like if I start feeling a song, I need to go get a piece of paper because I hear it in my head, you know, and I start writing it down. And I just think that there is, I don't know how else to put it. I think everybody and our entire planet is gifted. I believe that. What they do with their particular gift. Right?
Whether it's for good or evil.
Well, not just that, but Megan, sometimes they don't act on it.
Yeah.
They're like you know, you obviously are gifted to write, right, to do what you do. What would have happened if you never did it? We'd have never got it.
Right, that's true.
So people don't get, if you don't take what you're inspired to do and offer it to people, that's the deal. Receive the gift, grow the gift, give the gift.
It's so funny that you're saying this, Bob, because that's definitely a theme in the play. Frank, from the time he's a kid, one of the first things he does in his life when he's about 12 years old is he gets a toy printing press, and he and his little brother start printing this little paper and distributing it to the neighborhood. Then several years later, he becomes an actor, and he realizes that, I could write plays. And so he starts writing a few plays, and then he kind of gives that up and puts that aside. And then he gets married, and his mother-in-law keeps telling him, your gift is to write. Your gift is to write. And he absolutely tries everything else because he just feels like he has to make a life for his family. He has to support his family. He keeps putting that aside. But his mother-in-law keeps saying, you need to write, Frank. You need to write. And finally, he promises her that he will. And he starts writing. And eventually, by the time he's in his 40s, gets somebody to publish his work and becomes successful. But it's exactly what you were describing, that he just pushes that gift aside until he finally gives into it. Like, this is what I want to do, this is what I meant to do, and he finally gives into that.
Yeah, I was, besides my other jobs. So I was a pastor for 30 years, and I was an evangelist, and you know, I love God. I am unashamedly a lover of the Creator of all that is. And when I think of the Creator and I think of creative people, when somebody says, oh, God created people, that's easy for me to see. When I see people that are creative, I like, whoa, there's a thumbprint right there, because he said, we should all be creative. But again, what do you do with it?
Yeah.
So I never thought I'd be doing radio. It was not on my...
And you're so good at it.
It wasn't even a bucket list, right? You know, and I got invited on a show, and the next thing I know, I had the show, and then that went from to having a radio station, and now we just put up TV. And it's like I just think that if you will allow it, and that's why I asked Bob, do you have other stuff? Because if you allow it, right, then we'll get to enjoy that. The gift that had been given you, the community gets to share. I already know about Megan's gift. She's old hat to me now. She's just
you wonder why I'm avoiding you, bitch. Man.
Yeah. Well, you could have hammered me and gone, well, I didn't see you sitting on the front row.
I didn't see you. I didn't. And you missed a good show. Okay, Fish.
Are you in this one?
I am not in this one.
What?
But I was in Dial In for Murder, right?
Yeah.
And then my husband was the musical director for Cabaret, and also I was doing the marketing, and I was there an awful lot. So I just simply could not, with a 6-year-old. I want to be in all of them, Fish. I want to be on the stage all the time.
I believe that.
But I am involved as much as I possibly can be with marketing and with doing programs and things like that. And so
it's a lot.
It is, but it's my passion. It's what I love to do. So I don't feel like it's work, really.
Before I run out of time, because it always happens when I'm with you.
I know.
It's you.
It's you. It's not me.
All right.
Okay, it's me.
Bob did it.
Okay, let's get through the May 29th is when it opens, and it runs weekends through June 21st. So Friday and Saturday nights at 7:30, Sunday matinee at 2. You can get tickets at actingcompany.org. You're going to see a lot of stuff from us coming out about the play and about the actors. We also, I would be amiss to not mention Shamea's directing the next play, All Wilderness, and auditions for that are June 1st and 2nd with possible callbacks on the 3rd. That opens in late June, runs through July. And then in August, we have our annual summer gala fundraiser for TAC. This one is called 2x2, which is famous duos, musical and dance duos throughout history. Yes, so you don't want to miss that. That's going to be at St. Andrew's Presbyterian Church on August 29th. More details to come. And then just a shameless plug, after Shamea's All Wilderness is my play, which I will be my directorial debut, which is Arsenic and Old Lace. You want to talk about good old movies? Cary Grant. Ugh, I mean,
that's a great.
They don't make him like him anymore.
You sound like my wife, Errol Flynn.
I mean, there's so many of them. Clark Gable, Jimmy Stewart. They just don't make them like that anymore.
Oh, you mean when men were men?
I'm impressed, Megan, that you know all of those.
Oh, I am an avid black and white comedy.
Good for you. Me too.
Yeah. So
I hate to say it, but I tell my wife this because she loves movies, right? There was a time when if you were going to be quote unquote into movies, whatever, you needed to be able to sing, dance.
Oh, you have to be a triple threat.
Yeah. You had to have all the pieces.
Yeah.
And I don't see that. Now I do have some favorite actors and actresses, just because I think Tom Hanks could play any part.
He can do anything.
Any part.
He has.
And just like they told him that one where he had the Wilson.
Gosh, I know.
They told him that'll never work. Right?
And he made it work.
And because you're the only person in there, and he nailed it.
Yeah.
And so there's some that I don't care what
they've got it.
He does Apollo 13, and I immediately believe him. Forrest Gump. Right?
Yeah.
The Terminal. Where
I
he
know.
plays a guy, and you're like, who is? Did he ever make a bad movie?
Have you seen the Elvis movie where he plays the Colonel?
No.
I have never watched a movie where I hated Tom Hanks and he made me hate him. It's so good.
He was in That Thing You Do. As a matter of fact, he wrote some of that music, if not all of it. I can't remember.
Yeah.
But anyway, well, all right. So I do have a favorite actress, but she's not playing in anything here locally.
Well, come see Arsenic and Old Lace. I'm directing, and I'll be up on stage at the beginning to say, if you don't come see Arsenic and Old Lace, I will come back and we're gonna have words.
Oh my gosh.
You better come.
See how she is, Bob. Did you know
he
this?
never comes and sees our plays, and it's not nice.
I make no excuses.
That's right.
Okay.
He doesn't. You're coming to see it.
One more time.
Okay.
So that they can see the play that Bob wrote. We're going to get a play.
I know.
That the guy who wrote it's here.
And it's about such a wonderful, it's the story behind the story we all know, which is fantastic. So May 29th, runs weekends through June 21st, Friday and Saturday nights at 7:30, Sunday matinee at 2, tickets at actingcompany.org. Don't miss it.
All right, Bob, good to meet you.
Nice to meet you too, Fish.
Let me know when you're moving to Yuba Sutter.
This community interview is made possible by Shaw and Associates.
I'm Dave Shaw, President and CEO of Shaw and Associates.